Hello, my friends, and welcome to Italy, a place to love YouTube channel. The channel where I like to show the properties for sale in the Italian market. In each video, I select a property in a different town in one of the 20 beautiful regions of Italy. But so, my friends, let's start and let me introduce you today's property. Today, I want to bring to your attention a property for sale in a town called San Donaci. We are in Brindisi Province, Apulia region, Puglia region. So it's a very interesting property. So sit back, relax, and so let's find out all we have to know about this property. Now, as I said, we are in this town, which is called San Donaci. Now, San Donaci is a medium-sized town, around 5,000 inhabitants, all right? And so here we are talking about, in the ad, they say flat apartment for sale in Via Cellino 200, but as we see from the picture, anyway, is an independent house, is a corner house. Anyway, it's not a flat, it's not an apartment, and it's a property just on the ground floor for people who don't like to have stairs in their house. But anyway, there is a terrace, so there are stairs that are leading to the terrace. Now, the asking price is very interesting because it's asking 45,000 euro. All right. And the asking price is already reduced by 15% because the initial asking price was 53,000 euro. So we don't know, but the price may still be negotiable simply because it's already reduced, but it's a very interesting property. First of all, now the location is very nice. We are in Brindisi Province, between Salento and Valle d'Itria. Okay, this is more Salento, let's say northern part of Salento. And we are talking about 217 square meters, 7 rooms, a property that is made of 7 rooms, ground floor without lift, and garage included. So basically, the 217 square meter includes as well the garage. But so let's start investigating and let's find out all we have to know about this property. Now, let's start from Google Maps. Okay, here, and let's go straight away. As we see, we are in the middle between Brindisi and Lecce. All right. Now, we are not very, very close to the sea, but at the same time, we are also not very far. I guess we are around 30 minutes driving from Brindisi and maybe 15-20 minutes driving to the nearest seaside destination. Then we are also not very far from Lecce, so we are between Brindisi and Lecce, so which it makes it anyway. This town and this property in a very strategic location. So we see that San Donaci anyway is a smaller town comparing to Squinzano, San Pietro Vernotico, and San Pancrazio Salentino. But anyway, we have all the type of services that we might need in this town. At the same time, we are close to another beautiful town called Cellino San Marco. So we are in the heart of the northern part of Salento. Now, very farming and agricultural area, in particular well known for the olive groves, so for the olive production. But not only, this area is also famous for the wine. Now, all the typical wines of Salento coming across to my mind, Negro Amaro, for example. There are many different type of wines, beautiful wines. So if you are a wine lover, this could be the perfect place for you. So anyway, as we see, we are in a medium-sized town, and we have all type of services that we might need. We have restaurants, we have bars, and more. Anyway, there are B&Bs, different type of shops, banks, post office. Anyway, we have buses transportation, which is more reliable than the train transportations. That's what I'm always saying in my videos. So if you are thinking about Italy, focus mainly on buses transportation. And here is where the property is. So we are in the outskirts of the town, because the town is not a big one. Let's say everything is in a walkable distance. Then we have grocery shops and so on, retail shops. Okay, my friends, so now we can go back to the property and we can start reading the description to understand better the property. Then this is my me time. Please put like and subscribe if you like this type of videos. If you like this content, it helps my channel to grow. Okay, so let's start. San Donaci, 212 square meters corner property with garage, 4 rooms. Now, in the beginning, they said 7 rooms. Now, here they're saying 4, but we'll find out. Now, Fornaro Immobiliare Agency offers for sale in San Donaci, in Via Cellino, corner of Via Enrico Toti, a large 12 and 200 square meters corner property, ideal for those seeking comfortable spaces, independence, and a strategic position on one of the main streets of the town. The house, on a single level, so consists of 4 rooms plus accessories distributed as follows. We have a large living room, 2 bedrooms, an eating kitchen, okay, entrance, hallways, bathroom and pre-bathroom, anteroom. Then we have a second bathroom, second small bathroom, and relevant garage. So we have a garage that has been used not as a garage, but more as part of the house, livable space. The double corner exposure ensures excellent brightness and natural ventilation. Now, here we enter in a very interesting paragraph of the description. Let's read carefully. Thanks to its significant size and strategic location, the property is suitable both as a main residence and as a professional studio or investment. Price 115,000. All right, my friends. So, what's the real price of this property? I'm telling you, the real price is 45,000 euro. Now, probably this property is for sale, has been a while that this property is for sale, and probably initially they tried to sell this property for 115,000 euro. Then we see that anyway the price was dropping from 53 to 45. So basically, they're a bit struggling to sell this property. But in my opinion, it's not a bad property. Anyway, 2 bathrooms. There is also a terrace, double garage, good condition, natural gas. The house is not in a perfect condition. It is on need, let's say, needs to be improved. Now here we have the garage, the floor map. The price of the house is 207 euro per square meter, which is already, anyway, crazy, very, very low. I'd say under 300 euro per square meter for a property which is not in need of a massive renovation and quite spacious. Also, the location, we are in the northern part of Salento. Obviously, let's say there are buses transportation from Brindisi is possible to reach, but it's not the most convenient property. Here, let's say better if you have a car. Also because there's parking space, plenty of parking space. Okay, my friends, so let's start. The corner property, this one. So we have 2 main entrances, one which is on the left here, and then we have this small balcony in the middle, the corner. It's a small balcony not used as an entrance, and then we have a second entrance here. So we have a window, then we have the second entrance, then we have another window, and then we have the garage. So, okay, here we can see a bit better. So we have this corner balcony. Don't forget that there is also the terrace. As we see, very bright location, so very sunny. The area is quite flat, so you don't have to deal with steps in the town, stairs like in many other towns in the center of Italy, where these properties, all let's say old style properties, are on the hills. So, and then you have many steps. Okay, so basically on the left, let's start. We have the corner room, then we have another room, which is the bedroom. Then we have another, let's say, this is the main entrance. We see by the letterbox beside the main entrance on the left. And then we have another window, which is the kitchen. And then we have the garage at the very end. Okay, my friends, so let's start investigating the property. Let's see the weakest points, the good points. Let's try to be as more reasonable as possible. Okay, anyway, here I see a quite spacious room. This is the one of the two entrances, the very first one on the left that we saw before. With on the left we have one bedroom, and then we have the second bedroom on the left here. So we have two bedrooms that are accessible from this kind of big living space. All right. Probably this big space initially was divided in two rooms, were two separate rooms, but here they made this arch. So basically, they opened the space simply to make a big open space, which is very, very nice. Then, beside the entrance door, I foresee that the picture is a bit overexposed, but I see the radiator. Okay. Overall, I don't see a structure. The structure of the property is not in a bad condition. Okay, here we have some problems with the mold on the ceiling, but simply because I guess the house has been closed for very, very long time. So no air, so and with the humidity during the winter. Anyway, these problems are quite common here in the south of Italy, in particular because the winters are not very, very cold, but are more humid than cold, so it's causing these type of issues with the mold. Okay, then here we see the radiator. This big room has two radiators plus a fireplace. Then we have the first door we see on the right. That's the the entrance of one of the two bedrooms. And then we have the second entrance, the second door, that is the door that is leading to the second bedroom. Then we have another radiator, and then we access to another hall where there are more rooms. Okay. Now here I want to pay attention anyway to the floor tiles, which anyway, the floor has been renovated not long time ago. So they've done a partial renovation because I see the floor tiles are quite new and in a good condition. Okay, here we are already in one of the two bedrooms, if I'm not right, if I'm not wrong. Anyway, we see as well radiators. So for me, it's very important. Heating system is extremely important. Also, electrical system, because if I don't have to go through this type of works, I might save a lot of money. Here, let's say just to give a proper paint, you know. Okay, here we are in the second bedroom. Again, good that we have the same floor tiles in all the rooms, which is good. Again, radiator. Oh, I like of this property, I like that all the rooms have windows. So that makes the property bright, which is also very, very important for me, in my opinion. So we have a spacious bedroom. This is the second bedroom. And this is the master bedroom, the one that from outside we could have seen the little balcony. So basically, we have two spacious bedrooms. All right, here we are back in the big hall, big living space, which is very, very nice. I like it. I like this type of big open spaces. All right. And then we haven't seen yet the second part of the house. Okay, now here I guess we already walked through the hall and we passed the two bedrooms. And so basically here we are in the room where there is the second entrance, the main entrance, let's say. So we have two rooms which are welcoming rooms. Here we have the view from the small balcony in one of the two bedrooms, let's say the master bedroom. Okay, here we are in the second room. I mean, this is the main entrance room, all right? Seeing it from this perspective, where we see the main entrance door, all right? Then I see the installed air conditioning. I'd say this property has a good potential, and for this price, 45,000 euro. Then it says that there are two bathrooms. We need to investigate the condition of the bathrooms. I guess they might not be in a very good condition. Anyway, this is kind of another living space. We call, let's say, could be more because this is the main entrance. I would go as, let's say, welcoming room more than living space. All right. Okay. So here we are in the same room. We see by the pieces of furniture. So where we have the main entrance here. Okay. I like the lamps here. They kept this old style. I would keep them. If they sell it with that, I would keep them because I like this type of chandelier. Then, anyway, we have radiators in all the rooms. The doors are fine. I won't replace these doors. For me, they're also fine. Up to now, I don't see any major things. I should only investigate properly the electrical system, which for me is not very, very outdated. And then to inspect the bathrooms to understand in which condition. Okay, this is one of the two bedrooms. Actually, no, this is a second, this is a dining room. Okay, because from here we can see that this is the very first room. So from this door here we see that this room here is connected to the big uh, living space that we saw in the beginning. All right. Okay, let's keep moving. Here we are in the welcoming room, let's say where the main entrance is. Okay, now the property it says that has two bathrooms, all right, with two anti-bathroom, with two pre-bathrooms. Now we have window here. This is very interesting, but anyway, it's a bathroom. Let's say that doesn't have any sort. Maybe this is more a laundry. Anyway, there should be there's as we see there's no sink, there's no toilet. Actually, this looks more like a laundry. I see the connection to the washing machine, all right, but I'd say anyway, I see there was the flush for the toilet here on the wall beside the uh, beside the window. Anyway, here we have the gas boiler, we have the radiator. All right, here we are in the kitchen. So we have another big room, my friends. And here from this door, we are connected to the garage because we haven't seen the garage yet. So again, we have a very spacious kitchen. It's an eating kitchen. Here, the electrical system, I might say, is not very outdated. I don't see many points, okay, many, let's say, plugs. I don't see many plugs, but okay, here we have the main bathroom. Bathroom that is a bit outdated. Anyway, I would go for a renovation of this bathroom, obviously. Um, I see it's a bit too much outdated, in particular the shower box. I don't, anyway, it's not a very big bathroom, so I don't see it as a major issue or very, very expensive, let's say, but possible to make a nice bathroom here. And here we are finally into the garage. So where we see the ladder, we see that there is basically a door that is leading to the kitchen. This could be an extra bedroom, for example. Very interesting. We have a window, so it's very bright. Very, very interesting space. Here we have different floor tiles, but they use probably it's a double garage that it should fit two cars, but again, I won't use it as a garage, but can be used multifunctional space anyway. We saw many, many rooms in this house. Here we are back into the kitchen. All right. So the house, it is in need of upgrades for sure, but I don't see massive, massive works. Doors, window frames. We have AC, air conditioner system. Kitchen obviously needs to be upgraded. And here we are on the terrace. So we have kind of very big terrace because the terrace is big as all the surface of the house, and also we have view. Now the area is flat, so we won't see hills or, but we have a kind of view, and here we can enjoy all day basically on the terrace. Very big terrace. I see. Nice. I like it. Here obviously gives the potential to improve with solar panels. I don't see shadows, so it's basically sunny all day long, this type of terrace. Nice. And basically we have nearly not 360 degrees views, but for sure more than 180. So from here, from where we see these trees and palms all over the left. Okay, my friends. So this is the floor map. Let's try to understand. So from Via Cellino here, we see one of the two entrances with this big living space. Okay. Then with the two L stays for letto. So basically bedrooms, bedroom one, bedroom two. Then we enter in a little hall where we have access to the bathroom. Here we have the second entrance, the main entrance, let's say INGR is ingresso, so welcoming space. And then we have the kitchen. Then by the picture, we saw that all the rooms are quite big. And here we have the second bathroom. So possible to make two bathrooms in this property easily. Then we also have an open space here. Interesting. So where we probably can access, it's a very little courtyard, but anyway, where we get the light from the bathrooms here. The two bathrooms are facing this area, and then also the garage where it says Altra Proprietà. So basically, if I go back, this is where the garage is. Okay, and where we see this space with the X, this is a kind of little courtyard, very little. But so I would use more probably where the stairs to the terrace are as well. Don't forget because I haven't seen any stairs, so I can only guess that the stairs to the terrace are here from this little courtyard. Okay, my friends, so this is all we had to see about the property. Now, here is the location, but for the location, we go to Google Street View. And actually, before we have a look to Google Street View, let's try to investigate how far Actually, I want to go on Google to understand how many inhabitants is San Donaci, to be sure, because I said 5,000. Yes, so it's 6,000 inhabitants in provincia di Brindisi, situato nel cuore della Puglia, in the heart of Apulia region. So Brindisi province, 6,000 inhabitants, so is a medium-sized town, which already, I said already, it offers all type of services that we might need. And so let's focus on the main distances to the distances to the main locations. For example, let's investigate. Oh, I forgot my coffee, my friends. Barley coffee. I stopped drinking regular coffee. I don't know if you ever heard about orzo, Orzo, which is called barley in Italian. So I'm only drinking barley coffee. In any bar in Italy you enter, you can ask for caffè d'orzo if you don't want a coffee with caffeine. It's I love it. So basically, in all the bars I go, and it costs the same as the other coffees, €1.20, €1.10. In some places here, even €1. All right, for espresso. Now Brindisi. Let's focus on Brindisi, how far we are from Brindisi. Now, Brindisi is only 29 minutes by car. So basically, we have international airport in Brindisi. So we are not far. Let's see how far we are from Lecce. From Lecce, it takes a bit longer. So we are around 35, 37 minutes, between 35 and 37 minutes to reach Lecce, which anyway is a short distance. So Brindisi is closer. Then, for example, we have Cellino San Marco, we have San Pietro. Actually, there is a singer, a very famous Italian singer that has a big estate in Cellino San Marco. His name is Albano. I don't know if you ever heard about Albano. Albano. That's his name. If you type on YouTube, you will find very, very famous Italian singer. So San Pietro Vernotico. Let's see how far we are from San Pietro. San Pietro Vernotico. Brindisi province, sorry. So it's only 12 minutes to reach San Pietro Vernotico. So it means that Cellino San Marco, it's half of the time, so it takes 6 minutes. Basically, for example, we can go by bus from uh, San Donaci to San Pietro Vernotico is about 30 minutes by bus. So, for example, here we see that from the property that is at the bottom here, Via Cellino 200, in 8 minutes by walk, 650 meters, we are at the bus station. Then 14 minutes by bus, 6 bus stops, and we are in San Pietro Vernotico. Then from San Pietro Vernotico, we have the railway that goes to Brindisi, for example. But so we have to take at least 2 transports. All right, then let's see the nearest seaside destination. Anyway, here we have beautiful area like Torre San Gennaro, Lendinuso, Casalabate, Torre Rinalda, Torre Chianca. All this area is extremely beautiful. Southern Brindisi direction. Let's see Torre San Gennaro, how far we are from Torre San Gennaro. Let's go here. Torre San Gennaro. Okay. So by car, it takes only 22 minutes. So in 20 minutes driving, we are already on the sea. Okay, my friends. So now, after we have checked all the distances from San Donaci, let's say, to the main locations around in the area, let's focus now on a bit of Google Street View. and let's investigate the property. Now we see that we are on one of the main road, let's say, which is leading to San Donaci center. So basically to reach the city center, the center is only, let's say, less than 1 kilometer by walk, extremely reachable. And let's do a bit of Google Street View to understand. So we'll drive now towards the center direction. Okay, this is San Donaci, lovely area, small houses, and this is the house for sale. So basically here where we saw the big living space, okay, that's the entrance one, not the main entrance, but one of the two with a big living space. Then we have the bedroom, one of the master bedroom. Then we have the second bedroom here. Then we have the main entrance where we saw the welcoming space. Here we have the kitchen and here we have the garage. So basically it's a quite big property. And then we have the terrace all above the property. So again, no steps apart the stairs to go to the terrace. And let's drive a bit here to the center of the town. So here it looks more like a hardware shop. Then we have a bar here. Okay. So we have a local bar. We have lovely houses in this area. Let's see. Here they're selling, for example, this property. This is an interesting one. Has to be finished, obviously. I see the roof is not in a raw state, but anyway, I see roof kind of new. They started. Here there was the sign for sale. Okay, this is an interesting town. I think it's the very first property that I show in this town, San Donaci, which obviously because it is a bit smaller than the other towns, probably the prices are a bit lower. Okay, we're still going towards the center of the town just to understand the type of houses that we have in this area. We have a lovely corner house here. As I'm always saying, people that are living here like to look after properly their properties. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see. So here we are getting closer to the center. So here we have a Carrefour Express, which is a grocery shop. Here we have a property for sale on top. It's not far. I'd say it's only 5 minutes by walk. L'Angolo del Caffè. Here they probably sell it only capsules for coffee machines. Okay, let's keep going a bit more. They're very popular now, these shops where they sell only these coffee machines and capsules. This is a bakery, looks like a bakery. Here we have I don't, Bazaar Milletta, so they sell different type of goods. All right, so here we're getting closer. I think we are already anyway in the center of the town. I see a butcher, macelleria. Ah no, pescheria, so this is a fishmonger. Here you can buy fresh fish daily. Another fishmonger here. This typical where they're selling fish. Fish is a part of the diet here. Okay, let's close. Okay, my friends, We see people by bike, forno a legna, so we have another bakery or pizzeria. Forno a legna means uh, oven baked. Coiffeur de Paris, so a hairdresser. Okay, my friends, so let me know what you think about this property, about this town. I think it's an interesting town where for sure the properties don't have mad prices. Caffetteria del Corso. Okay, I think we are getting. Let's go. Okay, here I think we are in the center because I see this decoration. Yes, so here we reach, let's say, one of the main squares of this beautiful town. Okay, my friends, I hope you have enjoyed this video and I'll see you here tomorrow on Italy a Place to Love for another property for sale in one of the 20 beautiful regions of Italy. So, Mesagne, San Pietro Vernotico, Police, Primary School, Cellino San Marco. I wish you a lovely day and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.